If you are watching this, then there is a chance that you have already been caught by the seductive, dark, grim and fascinating world of darkness. And if not, I am going to try to answer the question of what is World of Darkness. The purpose of this video is to make an introduction to, or rather explanation of what is World of Darkness and to make an overview of its content. World of Darkness, published by White Wolf, is the name given to two related but distinct fictional universes created as settings for supernatural horror-themed role-playing games. In order to avoid confusion, the first one, published from 1991 to 2004, is referred to as the Old World of Darkness, and the second one is referred to as the New World of Darkness. There was also a third one called Monte Cook's World of Darkness, which was Monte Cook's take on World of Darkness universe, but it only contained one product and it was not that popular. To distinguish the first two, in 2011, White Wolf officially branded the original as the classic World of Darkness, while the new one continued to simply use World of Darkness name. In 2015, Paradox Interactive purchased White Wolf and announced their plans to unify all fans and games under the one World of Darkness. In December of 2015, New World of Darkness setting was renamed to Chronicles of Darkness, leaving the World of Darkness name to the original one. Now, when we said World of Darkness enough times and explained the difference between the two of them, we shall continue explaining each setting in further detail. First, the Old World of Darkness. In this setting, World of Darkness resembles the contemporary world, but it is much darker and more devious. Decadence, cynicism, and corruption are common. The dichotomy between the rich and the poor, influential and weak, powerful and powerless is much more pronounced. Humans are mostly unwitting victims or pawns of vast secret organizations of supernatural creatures. These many supernatural creatures wage secret wars against other species and even struggle with internal factionalism, dividing themselves within. The battles in these wars may last for centuries beyond the realization or comprehension of ordinary humans. The mystical abilities of these non-human entities and their ability to alter reality at will is restricted by the rise of reason and disbelief in the supernatural, and they are forced to rely on more mundane methods in their struggle for supremacy and their fight against the age of technology. The darkness of the setting is reflected everywhere. Architecture is dominated by goth styling, and fashion and personal style embrace goth, punk, and fetishistic elements. The game uses both historical milieux as well as modern settings. The story of these supernatural creatures is deeply connected with our own world history, and despite the fantasy elements, the game emphasizes that any action has real-world consequences and abilities beyond what is considered normal by mainstream society will draw unwanted attention and potentially disastrous results. In this dark world, ruled by supernatural creatures, there are three heavy hitters. Vampires, who mostly live in the cities and are deeply integrated into human society. Werewolves run the wilds and spiritual world, fighting cosmic forces that threat to tear the earth apart. And mages, who are people who recognize that reality is not static and that through the application of their will, they can change reality. Along these entities, there are other supernaturals, like wraiths, changelings, demons, mummies, kindred of the east, and hunters. Each of these factions, or rather species, of supernatural creatures will be explained in greater detail in different videos. And now, the second, or New World of Darkness. New World of Darkness is not a completely new setting, but rather a new approach to the old one. Many details of the setting, especially in regard to its history, are left vague, and many explanations are left open-ended, so they could be open for interpretation. That way, the supernatural world is more mysterious, making the horror aspect of it more true, and leaving more room for the storyteller to establish the mood of the setting. In this world, supernatural creatures don't have global control, and they are few in number. Therefore, humans pose a much bigger threat to them, and playing regular human beings is made more interesting. As for the supernatural creatures, the variety and the hierarchy of the power structures within remained almost the same. Vampires, werewolves and mages are still the most dominant ones, but where in the old setting they had many factions and groups within them, now they are much less separated and, as said before, fewer in number. This also applies for the rest of the supernatural, such as Prometheans, changelings, geists, mummies, hunters and demons. And like with the old setting, each group of these supernatural creatures will be explained in other upcoming videos. Now, the purpose of these videos will be to explain this fascinating, detailed and dark world and tell stories that lie within it. I will not get into the role-playing or card-playing systems and how they are played, but will focus on the stories and characters in the World of Darkness universe. World of Darkness has influenced many over the years and has affected how people look at vampires, werewolves, ghosts and hunters. While it has been influenced by the movies and books of the time before its conception, after it, World of Darkness has onward influenced many books, movies and games. And there are a few that should be mentioned. There was an American TV series called Kindred the Embraced that was based on Vampire the Masquerade and was premiered on Fox in 1996, but was cancelled after 8 episodes. Also, there was the famous Underworld movie series that closely resembled to the World of Darkness universe and was even sued by White Wolf for its content. As for the games, there were a few. There was a PC game, Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, that was released in 2000, Hunter the Reckoning in 2002, made for Xbox and GameCube. There was a Werewolf the Apocalypse Heart of Gaia that was being developed for the PC but was never published. Also, there was a famous Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines game published in 2004 that had the biggest influence on the mainstream culture. After CCP merged with White Wolf in 2009, they started on the development of MMORPG game named World of Darkness Online. But sadly, in 2014, CCP announced that World of Darkness Online was cancelled. In 2015, Paradox bought White Wolf and stated that they plan to create multiple digital game titles following the acquisition. Their plan is to unify old and new World of Darkness into one World of Darkness. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see what are they going to make. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to finish this video with a promise to come again with new content. There is a lot of things I plan to cover, from books, games and movies, so stay close. Please like, share and subscribe so that we could expand awareness of the World of Darkness. See you soon, but until then, don't fear the dark, but find power in it.